I was searching for buffalo fish, and I ended up finding a whole lot of other fish as well. So wild carp are included too, grass carp are also included, and of course the buffalo fish as well. So a spot that right now is running really, really well again. Yes, so I've only been here at this spot for about 10 minutes now, and it is already starting very, very well. Right now I am testing all three rods on Krill and Spice, a bait combination that the buffalo fish always respond to extremely well. The bait and boilie combination, we will take another detailed look at that in just a moment, just like of course also the ground bait. Yes, and in addition to that, the wild carp also react very well to this feed. Up to 20 kilograms of wild carp, and they are extremely strong fighters, but they also bring really good silver. So I am always happy to see more of the wild carp. And if even more of the big buffalo fish come in, well then of course I will gladly take those as well. So let's continue here. It is actually really exhausting. If I imagine standing here maybe with just a mid-game setup with about 15 kilograms of drag power, then a fish like this here would already pull extremely hard into the drag. Then you really have to fight the fish properly. But we do have the advantage here that we are fishing in a small lake. The whole area is relatively well enclosed, and here you can of course tire out a fish without any problems. And also without being completely spooled, because you can simply walk around the lake the entire time while fighting the fish. So the whole thing works quite well even if you do not yet have a very strong setup. Well, look at that, the next buffalo fish. Good weight, 11 kilograms. That is actually not bad at all. That is exactly the kind of fish where I like to start my happy hour here at a spot like this. Cast out again immediately. However, now I also have to remove the ground bait for the moment. I do not want to overfeed the spot. And straight back out again. Well, as always here at this position, 21 meters. This is actually a very classic spot here, a spot that works again and again extremely well. And that is exactly why it always has to be tested first. And right now, the weather conditions are quite special. It is very warm right now. Around 35 degrees is normally typical here at Akhtuba River, but over 40 degrees. That is already an exceptional situation. So we currently have extremely hot weather, and it seems to be working quite well. So quickly cast out again here to 21 meters, and my target here is always the last water lilies. Exactly this area here, or just slightly above it, right along this edge here. That is always where the bait should go. Where the eye marker is right now, that is exactly the area I want. And if the bait sometimes flies a little more to the left or to the right, that is still perfectly fine. But roughly, like I said, this area here on the horizon is exactly where I want to land with 21 meters. Well, look at that. And here comes the next candidate that clearly has a bit more motivation. Very nice. So yes, this is really, really fun here. I actually already have to turn the drag a bit closer to the maximum, and that is on a very large setup. That is already pretty crazy. But the fish are active, and especially during the morning hours, and also during the night phase, that is when the big wild carp in particular were biting, and they are extremely strong fighters. Yes! The next buffalo fish. Of course, I'm also hoping for a black buffalo fish. I specifically set up the ground bait so that we also have larvae included. Krill and larvae, so to speak, plus spice. And I'm curious whether that will work here. At the moment, I have to say, I am already very satisfied. Everything that is biting right now, that is definitely worth it. Especially for this short amount of time, the silver should already be very good. Yes, regarding the position on the map, as I already mentioned earlier, that spot should be quite well known. It is actually one of the most important fishing spots at this entire water body. You could really say that. The important buffalo spots are first here in this area, then down here where you cast into this direction, and the third one is from this small point, casting over into this area here. So these three spots should always be tested when you are searching for buffalo fish. And especially when it comes to records, the nice thing is that at the beginning of the week, everything is still nicely mixed up. Many people are testing and experimenting, and because of that, you can simply test things yourself as well. Typical flavors usually go towards fish aromas or towards krill. Here we currently have a krill and spice combination, or sometimes even crayfish included. But salmon also works from time to time. So various flavors that, like I said, generally go in the direction of fish-based aromas. And right now krill seems to be working quite well. And that is exactly why I set everything completely to krill. And I'm still fishing relatively small sizes. So first only a hook size 1, and then for the boilies, in this case, the combination krill pellet size 18 together with a boilie size 16. So not too large yet. Here on the second setup, even slightly smaller, size 14 and 16 only. And the third setup, slightly larger, size 18 and 20. So this way we vary a bit between smaller and larger fish so we can test which fish are currently at the spot and of course also give all fish the opportunity to bite. Well, look at that, and it continues immediately here. Yes, very good. So I'm really satisfied. Good fish so far, good sizes. Of course, every now and then you will also catch something like a Wild Carp here at the spot. That is completely normal. But so far, I'm already very satisfied, and it can definitely continue like this. And if at some point the bite suddenly stops completely, well then I will simply move on to the spots I just showed earlier. Most likely, I will first test this area here and then return again to this spot. And if you spend about 1 hour at each of these spots, then the first spot should already have regenerated again. After 2 hours, that is no problem at all. And if you are still unsure how this actually works with spots, how you can influence them, and what exactly a spot even is, then simply take a look at the video. What is a spot? There it is explained in detail how we as anglers can influence a fishing spot. Yes, right now it is midday again, which usually means there is often a bit of a pause with these fish. And I think towards the evening hours, around 4 or 5 p.m., things should start picking up again. And around 4 p.m., I will also throw in the ground bait 1 or 2 more times. By the way, there is a huge advantage here at this location. You do not need to use PVA. The distance is only 21 meters. That means you can simply stand here with the ground bait balls, walk up to the water's edge, and throw them in this direction at maximum distance, fully charged. Then the feed lands exactly in the same area where you are fishing. So it is the perfect spot for beginners who do not yet have 100% skill in ground baiting and bottom fishing. And of course, we will also take a look at the ground bait. I just mixed it freshly a moment ago. So the whole thing is meant to target buffalo fish, and we have spicy aromas in it, plus krill. For buffalo fish, the base is naturally sunflower seed. By the way, that is also a base that works again and again for wild carp. In this case, we have dried krill, so the standard ingredient krill. Then large krill feed pellets, bloodworm larvae. From the German name, you might already recognize that it is a larva and not really a worm. So besides the krill, I also use this small type of larva. And then again, these spicy feed pellets. In the information text about buffalo fish, it says that buffalo fish like to eat larvae and crustaceans. So from the ground bait perspective, this is actually exactly the right combination between crustaceans and larvae. And that should be very interesting for buffalo fish. And in terms of aroma, the whole mix finally goes again toward krill, and then you have the option to cast the whole thing out with the spone brocket, or, as already mentioned, simply form it into ground bait balls. Yes, it is 2 p.m. now at the spot. I'm curious what will still happen here. I think in the meantime, we will quickly go to the cafe, or of course to the fish market, and then I will take a look at what the whole thing has brought so far. 20 minutes, 24 minutes now here at the spot, and you can already see midday time above. So right now, very little is happening, but I think we can use this time now to quickly check how much silver this has brought. That one fish, I think there is still one waiting. We will take that one as well. Then we already have all the information. I think now he is on the line. Yes, exactly. He also could not really decide yet, so we will quickly take that one as well. A small buffalo fish. Very good. Gladly more of those. And of course, like I said, I am still hoping for the black buffalo fish. Maybe at some point it will also come in here. A big one, trophy size. So it is always worth testing for buffalo fish again and again. Well, this spot is actually not far from the base, so we will quickly take a look into the net. Yes, and generally you can say, if you notice at a spot that the baits are not working, or that the fish are simply too small, well then you simply change the spot much faster. You do not always have to test a spot for 30 minutes to find out whether it works or not. However, this always depends on the time of day when you are at the spot. If you are here during midday, like now when there was a bit of a slow phase where not much happens, then that might be completely normal. So in that case, you should definitely wait for a hot phase toward the evening hours. Or maybe you are in the middle of the night at a spot. Well, then you should wait at least until around 8 or 9 in the morning so that you can also test the morning phase to see whether the spot works or not. So this is how it looks right now. 27 minutes at the spot, and the whole thing already rewards us with over 200 silver. So yes, you can definitely do that. That is not bad at all. In terms of price, the buffalo fish and the wild carp are of course the most interesting here. That is why I will continue testing this spot. So gladly more wild carp and buffalo fish. I will simply continue searching to see if I can find more buffalo fish also at the other spots. If this helped you, leave a thumbs up and do not forget to subscribe to the channel. That helps me as well, and we will see each other in the next video. Until then, tight lines.